All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's talk about this. So Kamala she had another sit-down interview, um, again with ABC, um, and this time was with, it was a local guy, Brian Taff, I guess. I never heard of him. I mean, I guess he's a local guy for ABC, Philadelphia news station, but I had never heard of him. Um, but apparently he's an interview. He got his big break. He got to interview Kamala Harris. But he's just a Philadelphia news veteran, Brian Taff. I guess he's supposed to succeed Jim Jim Gardner. So there you go. I guess I didn't know. I don't live near Philadelphia, so I don't get their local news. So I didn't know who he was. He got to sit down with Kamala, and he asked her a total of, what was it, 4 questions? I think it was four, just four. That's it, no more. And didn't follow up, didn't grill her, and it wasn't very long. It was a little over. I think it was just over 10, 11 minutes, but that was including the little intro thing that they did. So it wasn't long. I mean, I maybe one day we'll get like a real interview from her. Although I very highly doubt it. But take this. We're gonna take a look at it. This is how it went down. So, um, he started the interview. They just kind of they look around, they check with their people, make sure everything's good to go. I guess. But you can kind of hear that. Now the interview itself is kind of quiet. When they first start out, does get louder as it goes along, though. It's really weird. But let's take a look, and I'll give you my my input, my opinion on it. Let you know how I think it went. I don't think it went very well for her. I still think she's throwing a lot of stuff out there and avoiding questions still, even though she is sitting down for an interview. I still don't think she actually did an interview. She's still avoiding questions and not answering any questions seriously. So anyway, let's take a look, and you can let me know how you feel about it, because I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. Good. Awesome. Madam Vice President, pleasure to meet you. Thanks for
Good
your
to meet
time
you,
today.
Brian.
Our audience appreciates your time as
Of
well.
course.
As you know, we're sitting here in a state and arguably in front of an audience that 54 days from now could decide the outcome of this presidential election.
Yeah.
You hear it more than I do. People want to know more about you and about your specific plans. At the debate the other night, you talked about creating an opportunity economy. I wonder if we can drill down on that a little bit. When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people,
Yeah.
what are one or two specific things you have in mind for that?
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle class kid. My mother raised my sister and me. She worked.
Does anybody notice that every time she gets asked a question, the first question she's ever asked, she always goes into her family history? I mean, yeah, granted, she came from a middle class family, I guess, but they weren't like struggling by any means. They were upper middle class. They were pretty well off. I mean, but she always goes into this. She talks about her family and how uh, she thinks it relates to the people. I guess it doesn't relate to me. Anyway,
Very hard. She was able to finally save up enough money to buy our first house when I was a teenager. I grew up in a community of hardworking people, construction workers and nurses and teachers. And I try to explain to some people who may not have had the same experience, but a lot of people will relate to this. I grew up in a neighborhood of folks who were very proud of their lawn, you know?
there's a
And,
long comment
um,
again. That's
and
that's
I was
weird.
raised to believe and to know that all people deserve dignity. And that we as Americans have a beautiful character. We have ambitions and aspirations and dreams. But not everyone necessarily has access to the resources that can help them fuel those dreams and ambitions. So when I talk about building an opportunity economy, it is very much.
Okay, look, I want to say just real quick, we're 2 minutes into it, almost just about 2 minutes into it, and she still hasn't actually gotten into what her opportunity economy is. She rambled on for 2 minutes about her family upbringing that we've already heard 1,000 times.
Much with the mind of investing in the ambitions and aspirations and the incredible work ethic of the American people, and creating opportunity for people, for example, to start a small business. My mother, worked long hours, and our neighbor helped raise us. We used to call her, I still call her, our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small business owners. I learned who they are from my childhood, and she was a community leader. She hired locally. She mentored. Our small businesses are so much a part of the fabric of our communities, not to mention, really, I think, the backbone of America's economy. So my opportunity economy plan includes giving startups a $50,000 tax deduction to start their small business. It used
She's going to give people $50,000 as a startup for their small business. This is the whole free money thing again. Where's that money going to come from? You cannot just give away 50,000 people to, or $50,000 to anybody that wants to start up a business. Where's that money going to come from? Where? It's going to come from the taxpayers. The money's going to have to come from somewhere. They can't just even okay. Look, even if it doesn't come from the taxpayers, they're just going to print $50,000 and give it away to somebody who wants to start a business. What's that going to do to the inflation? Look at what's happened thus far from these people just printing money and giving it away to people. Inflation has skyrocketed. Up to 9% was the high. 9%. Because they keep printing money and giving it away to people. You cannot sustain a country on free money. You cannot do it.
to be $5,000. Nobody can start a small business with $5,000. But investing in people's innovative ideas and giving them the ability to go for it.
Do what everybody else does that started a small business. You take out a loan. You take out a loan, the business thrives, you pay that loan back. Free money is not a it's not a solvent. It's not something that's just going to cure. It's not a cure-all. It's not going to solve everybody's problems. Giving away free money hurts the country economically. You cannot just keep giving away free money. It's the same thing with her $25,000 for first-time home buyers. You cannot do it. It's not sustainable. You're going to raise the prices of houses. What do you think $50,000 to first-time business, small business owners? What do you think that's going to do to the country? It's not economically sound. It's not a good course of action. It's not. If you want to start your own business, I give you kudos. But if you want to do it, you're taking it seriously, take out a small loan and start the business that you want to start. Free money is not going to solve the problem.
Opportunity economy means, look, we don't have enough housing in America. We have a housing supply shortage. And what that means, in particular for so many younger Americans, the American dream is elusive. It's just actually not attainable. So part of my plan is to work with the private sector and housing developers to give them a tax credit, to be able to partner with us as the government to build, and my goal is 3 million new homes by the end of my first term. In addition, to help people who just want to get their foot in the door, literally. And so giving first-time home buyers a $25,000 down payment assistance.
Look, you want to build 3 million homes by the end of your first term. And you want to give anybody who's buying that house $25,000 to help towards the down payment of that home. Look, a down payment for a home is something that people work for. is something that they save up for, they invest in it. Because when you don't invest into your home, you don't appreciate it when it's just handed over to you. You don't. It's a fact. It's statistically sound. You don't appreciate it when it's just given to you. It's not how this works. You're gonna cause the housing market, which already is a skyrocket. Okay, you got houses that are twice as much as what they were before her administration got into office. And now you're just gonna raise it again because you're gonna be giving people $25,000 for the down payment. It's not gonna help anything except for raise the price on the housing market. That's it. And like I said, who's gonna be paying for it? You can't just give $25,000 away. The money's got to come from somewhere, whether it come from our taxes or record inflation again. It's gonna have to come from somewhere. You cannot just give away free money. It doesn't work that way.
To be able to just get in the door, and then they will do the work that they need to do to save and to pay that mortgage and to build wealth for themselves and their family. These are some examples of what I mean when I talk about an opportunity economy, and a lot of it has to do with just the community I was raised in and the people that I admired, who work hard, and deserve to have, their dreams fulfilled because they're prepared to work for it.
You talked at the debate and at previous appearances about turning the page on the past. And in fact, here today in Johnstown, you're talking about a new way forward.
Yeah.
I think some people have a question, given maybe your current role as Vice President of the United States, how different you are from Joe Biden. And so I wonder if there are one or two spots.
Okay, real quick. I know I just her entire building up the middle class, her entire thing on it is giving away free money. That's it. That's her entire plan. She's going to give away free money. She's going to give $50,000 to business owners to start their business, and she's going to give $25,000 to first-time home buyers. That's her plan. That's her plan. Inflation and higher taxes. That's all it's going to do.
Policy areas or approaches where you would say, I'm a different person.
Well, I'm obviously not Joe Biden. And, I offer a new generation of leadership. And so, for example, thinking about developing and creating an opportunity economy where it's about investing in areas that really need a lot of work. And maybe focusing on, again, the aspirations and the dreams, but also just recognizing that at this moment in time, some of the stuff we could take for granted years ago, we can't take for granted anymore. For example, another plan that I have that is a new approach is to expand the child tax credit to $6,000.
It's not her plan. Okay, just going to point it out real quick. J.D. Vance already came out and said that they were going to expand it to $5,000. Not a week later, she came out and said that she's going to just do it $6,000. So all she did was come out and try to one up. There's another thing where she's just stealing another proposal from the Trump Vance presidency campaign. That's it. She didn't come with that. They did. Just
For young families for the first year of their child's life, because that is obviously a very critical stage of development of a child. And a lot of young parents need the help to buy a car seat or a crib or clothes for their kids. And so my approach is about new ideas, new policies that are directed at the current moment. And also, to be very honest with you, my focus is very much in what we need to do over the next 10, 20 years to catch up to the 21st century around, again, capacity, but also challenges.
Crime and public safety are two major issues right at the forefront of voters' minds. In Philadelphia as well, where crime is a significant issue. When we talk about crime, the conversation turns to gun safety as well. And I think you actually probably caught a lot of people off guard, maybe a bit by surprise in the debate the other night when you mentioned that you are a gun owner. I know you said it in 2019 as well. I want to talk about your values on this issue. When it comes to gun ownership, where do you draw the line in America on gun ownership and gun use?
Well, like you said, Brian, I am a gun owner, and
Correct me if I'm wrong, which I could be. I know, like, look, there's this thing going around saying that she had these earrings that are actually earbuds during the debate. Hence, why she did so well. I said it in my video about the debate. I haven't seen any hard evidence to that fact. So until I see that, I'm not going to believe it. But I'm noticing, look, if you look here, those look like the same exact earrings that she was wearing during the debate. I'm pretty sure the same exact ones. I'm fairly certain. Look, I'm not saying that she's using earbuds, but you know, maybe like I said, why would somebody of her status, why would she be wearing the same earrings twice during the debate and then for this interview? It doesn't. I don't think that that's a thing that somebody in her status would do. They would just switch it up. Am I wrong? Let me hold on. Let me look here real quick. Let's see. Oh, Trump Kamala debate. Let me look at some images. I'm gonna look at some images here, and let's see. Hold on. Bear with me. Let me find a good picture of her earrings during the debate. Okay, look. I'm looking at a picture, and those look like the same earrings. Same little curvature down at the bottom, two little curves, and then the pearl stud in the middle there. Those look like the same exact earrings. Do I'm not quick enough to bring this over and show y'all real quick. Just do a quick Google search and of the debate, and you'll see those look like the same exact earrings. Like I said, I'm not saying that she's wearing earbuds for either the debate nor this interview. Just saying, but those look like the same exact earrings.
Tim Walz, my running mate, is also a gun owner. We're not taking anybody's guns away. I support the Second Amendment, and I support reasonable gun safety laws. Part of my approach to this is I was a career prosecutor for most of my career. I have personally prosecuted homicide cases. I have personally looked at autopsies. I have personally seen what assault weapons do to the human body. And so I feel very strongly that it is consistent with the Second Amendment and your right to own a gun to also say we need an assault weapons ban. They're literally tools of war. They were literally designed to kill a lot of human beings quickly. I say we need universal background checks. The majority of NRA members support that. Why? Because it's just reasonable. You just might want to know.
You just might want to know. Here's something you might want to know. She wants to ban assault rifles. That's her agenda. Good on her. I don't like it. I believe in the Second Amendment. She says she does. She really doesn't. If she believed in the Second Amendment, she wouldn't be trying to ban assault rifles. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. I just looked it up. The statistics on handguns are more commonly used in homicides according to the NIH study. 45.7% of homicides committed nationwide are by handguns. This 2 to 12% of guns used in illegal activities, 2 to 12% are rifles. That doesn't that's got assault weapons in there. Okay, but that's just rifles. 2 to 12% versus 47 with handguns, or 45.7. I'm sorry. That is not a high enough. No, she can say all she wants. Oh, they're designed to kill people. Well, yeah, all guns were. That's their designed use. She doesn't understand the Second Amendment. Anybody that says we need to ban assault rifles, you don't understand the Second Amendment either. Just saying. She doesn't believe in the Second Amendment. Don't let her lie to you and tell you that she does, because she doesn't.
before someone can buy a lethal weapon if they've been found by a court
Background
to be
checks are a
danger to
thing.
themselves or others. You just might want to know.
Background checks are a thing. Look, I know I missed that, but I know I've figured out now she was talking about background checks are a thing. Every time I go and buy a gun, I go through that background check every single time. Every time. It's not. There's no loophole. There's no workaround. Every time you go buy a gun, you have a background check done. Every single time.
Two final questions, if I might.
Sure.
On the appeal of the man you were running against, as you drove here today, you likely saw a lot of Trump signs. Mm-hmm. He has an historic appeal in this country. And as you are someone running against him and trying to understand that, I wonder how you distill it. What do you understand his appeal to be? And how do you speak to his voters? Or maybe people who just share his values but are open to something else?
I, based on experience and a lived experience, no. In my heart, I know, in my soul, I know that the vast majority of us as Americans have so much more in common than what separates us. And I also believe that I am accurate in knowing that most Americans want a leader who brings us together as Americans and not someone who professes to be a leader who is trying to have us point our fingers at each other.
That's exactly what she does. What she's just accused Trump of doing is exactly what she does. She flips it around. Don't let her fool you with it.
I think people are exhausted with that approach, to be honest with you. I think
people are exhausted with the orange man bad approach. That's what I think people are tired of. It's been an ongoing thing ever since 2016. They haven't let it go. It's always orange man bad. All the time, that's all they talk about. That's what people are tired about.
Want a leader who has common sense and tries to find common ground. I'm supported by over 200 Republicans who worked for both Presidents Bush, John McCain, and Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney's a joke. And if I'm from Utah, and he's a joke. I can't believe he's still in power.
Supported by the former Vice President Dick Cheney, former Congress.
Look, Dick Cheney, when he left office, he had a 13% approval rating. 13%. I don't think anybody's been worse other than maybe her. I wouldn't be boasting about that if I was her. Oh, I've got Dick Cheney's support. Okay. Nobody likes that guy. Just like nobody likes you.
Member Liz Cheney. And I think people are more willing now, in light of the hate and division that we see coming out of Donald Trump, to say, hey, let's put country first.
Why didn't you do that during the debate? The whole debate was the moderator saying, hey, President Trump, you're a terrible person. He'd answer. Vice President Kamala Harris, he's a bad person. Why do you think he's bad? That was the whole thing.
And I think that just makes us stronger and more healthy as a country. To say, look, we can all debate our differences around, various policies, but let's stop with the division. Like, enough of that. Let's bring everybody together.
Yes, I agree. Take your own words to heart there, Kamala. Take your own words to heart. Do it.
And finally, as you introduce yourself to America in a new way, they've heard much of your story at the Democratic National Convention in that debate earlier this week. If there's one thing that you wish Americans knew about who Kamala Harris is that you don't think they know yet, what would that be?
Who cares?
Probably it's not very different from anybody watching right now. I love my family. One of my favorite things that I lately have not been able to do is Sunday family dinner. I love to cook. I have incredible friends. My best friend from kindergarten is still my best friend. Um,
She's got a creepy glare.
I
Oh my
think that,
gosh.
I mean, I have a career that really, and I said it the other day, you know, as a career prosecutor, I never asked a victim of crime, were they a Republican or a Democrat. The only thing I ever asked them is, are you okay? And I think that's the approach that most Americans want, regardless of who they voted for in the last election, in terms of turning the page and charting the way forward.
I imagine you're looking forward to cooking Sunday dinner again.
I am looking forward.
Oh my God, who
Yes, I
cares?
am looking forward to cooking. With the whole family gets involved, the kids each have their role. Yeah.
Nobody
Well,
cares.
it's a beautiful family,
Nobody cares.
and we thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Look, that was a waste. That was a waste of what is this thing? 11 minutes and 19 seconds. What a waste of time. She didn't say anything that we didn't already hear her say before. This is ridiculous. How how do they get, I tell you why they, I tell you exactly how they get away with it, because like you just said, or like you just saw. I'm sorry. Like you just saw there, they don't follow up with anything. They don't ask hard questions. And when she just spouts off a bunch of nonsense, they don't follow up with anything. They just go, oh, What the? Can we please get somebody that's going to interview her, that's going to ask her a tough question, and then follow up her with her when she doesn't actually answer the question? It's ridiculous. Every time I see her talk, and she gets these. Okay, the first question: lay out your policy on your economic plan proposal. Your, uh, Christ, I'm so flustered. I'm so mad right now. I can't even think what she actually calls it. Her opportunity economy. He asked her to lay it out. Okay. She said a couple things that she's already said before. $50,000 for business owners. Free money. $25,000 to new home buyers. Free money. It's not going to build up the middle class. It's not going to help the economy. All you're doing is flooding the economy with money, and then that raises prices and makes the U.S. dollar worth less. Tell me I'm wrong. Let me know what you think. I'm done with this one. Thanks for hanging out and dealing with my anger issues. Y'all have a good night. Thanks.